You have a mystery team. This is a 3-horse race for Giannis, but the choice is really down to the Bucks, and really I think the choice is down to Bucks ownership, because I know that Giannis is ready to move. Giannis is ready to move. These other teams are ready to move. There's ancillary pieces that our teams are ready to move. Is Bucks ownership in the next 24 hours going to say, okay, let's move on from him now? If that answer ends up being yes, you see this. And I think it's going to be interesting also. Draymond Green came out last night and basically said the Warriors have told him he's going if they get a deal with Giannis done, and he's preparing himself for it.
Well, he's preparing himself for that, even though he has no intentions of staying in Milwaukee. Trust me, Draymond will be looking to get. He forget getting out of Milwaukee. He won't be looking to get to Milwaukee. He'd be looking to move on from Milwaukee without getting to Milwaukee. So let's get that out of the way first, as it pertains to Draymond Green. You got to look out for somebody like him with the Los Angeles Lakers, because obviously that's where he would want to be if he's not a Golden State Warrior. The man is always he wants to play with LeBron James. Okay, that's what he would want to do. And Draymond, the problem with Draymond, if he goes to the Los Angeles Lakers, and let me just state this for the record, Draymond Green, a 4-time champion, one of the greatest facilitators at the forward spot that we have seen in NBA history. I'm talking about a facilitator. He will get you the ball. That's what he does to Steph Curry. Here's the problem. Nobody misses more open three-pointers than the Los Angeles Lakers. Nobody. I mean, it's to the point where you have defenders faking to defend them and running into the paint and daring them to shoot, because they actually make more contested threes than they make open threes. Yeah. The more open they are, the more they miss. I don't understand it. It doesn't make much sense. But when you look at J.J. Redick's face, this is one of the great shooters in NBA history. Just imagine what it's like for him to watch his team shoot. I mean, it's just torture. That's like Magic Johnson coaching a team and covering a bunch of dudes that can't pass, or Jordan coaching a team and nobody can dunk. That's what J.J. Redick is dealing with in Los Angeles. They cannot shoot, okay? So because of that, Draymond going there, well, damn, you going to get the ball to people, but who going to make the shot? That's why that's problematic for them. As it pertains to Giannis, it's all about whatever deal Milwaukee gets. You got to get the right deal. You cannot lose Giannis Antetokounmpo for a boatload of stuff. If you're in Los Angeles, New York, places like that, that's different. Milwaukee, ain't nobody trying to come to Milwaukee as a free agent. You got to make stuff happen through the draft or through trades. You ain't no free agent trying to go to Milwaukee. So you got to make sure that you maximize Giannis's cachet and potential to make sure you milk a boatload of stuff. Kevin Durant goes to Houston. Phoenix got a bunch of second-round picks and stuff like that, and a couple of players in Brooks and Green, okay? You look at something like that. But Luka Doncic, one first-round pick along with a couple of players. That can't happen for Giannis. It got to be a Mikal Bridges type of thing. The Knicks gave up 5 first-round picks for that man. You ain't going to get that much, but you got to get some draft capital, plus you got to get a blue-chip player or two if you're going to lose Giannis Antetokounmpo, if you're the Milwaukee Bucks. Otherwise, it's a waste.
Mikal Bridges is always the bar now. It's always the bar.
Steve's funny about the great facilitator with Draymond Green.
He is.
When Curry makes 50-footers, I can get him the ball, too.
No.
Let me see when he gets to Milwaukee and Rollins is shooting those jumpers.
That's what I'm saying.
You're not going to make the shot.
But Draymond Green.
Oh, you're hot stuff.
Hey, am I lying, Wendy? Am I lying? Draymond Green is a great passer of the basketball, getting Curry the ball. He knows Curry. He throws it despite he knows where he's at all times. He's a great facilitator.
He ain't Larry Bird.
I know.
No, stop it.
I know
the Bucks 4-4 team without Giannis. It's a free fall right now in Milwaukee until something gets done there. Wendy, thank you. We'll talk.
Last year in the postseason, he was not a factor. He was hurt, so they were compromised in that scenario. Plus Mitchell, before he put him in the Hall of Fame, and I know he's going there, let's be honest about Mitchell. He's never gotten out of the second round of the playoffs.
Yes.
And he's not played great in the second round. He did not play well against Indianapolis. He was awful. To be honest, he was awful against the Knicks.
No.
2 years ago. He was bad in that series.
Here's what I think you're missing. Number one, when he was in Utah, there was a lot of big games he showed up for where you knew he needed help and he didn't have it. When you looked at Cleveland, we saw starters for the Cleveland Cavaliers that literally played one game and then were inexplicably out for the next two. And that wasn't Donovan Mitchell. So, again, you had cats that were supposed to be on the court helping him carry the load, and they didn't show up. I believe in Donovan Mitchell, and I'm not saying he hasn't had bad games, but he's had bad games because he didn't make shots. He didn't suddenly not attempt to shoot. He didn't look lackadaisical and lethargic or apathetic. He didn't see that. He didn't go through all of that. It's Donovan Mitchell we talking about here. It's Donovan Mitchell. Let's be very, very clear about this. This is a big-time player.
Well, before we throw it back to Wendy, I'll say one thing and let Wendy take it from there. But I'll say one thing. I understand why Cleveland did it. They weren't going – there was a shelf life with Garland. Yeah. He doesn't play. You bring Harden in. He'll be into it. He'll help Mitchell, take a little load off him. Great point with Wendy, which I hadn't thought of, with the big men. Maybe get them more involved. But here's the big issue to me. If you're asking me right now, is Cleveland going to the NBA? Forget winning it.
Right.
If you're asking me right now if Cleveland's going to the NBA final, right, the answer is no.
Well, before I pass it
that's my
before I pass it to Wendy, here's what I will tell you. And I think Wendy will co-sign with this. This is arguably the most prolific offensive backcourt in the NBA right now, with the combination of Harden and Mitchell leading up to the big game. No, I'm not saying the big game. Leading up to all the regular season games and those playoff games before game 6 or 7. Give me Harden and Mitchell on the offensive side of the ball. That's going to cause you headaches, particularly in the Eastern Conference. I get that part. That one game that you may need, having Donovan Mitchell there, though, that will offset it to some degree. That can offset it.
You got him in the Hall of Fame.
Oh boy! I really shouldn't be doing what I'm about. I really shouldn't be doing what I'm about to do, Shay, because I don't need the headache in my life. But here we go. I will say that there was a time in which the Cavs looked at this core that they had and said this is a 5 or 6 year run. They signed them all up and said this is going to be our window. They're all in their 20s. They have abandoned that. They didn't think that team was good enough. So now they're looking at a 2-year window, basically, because that's what they got James Harden for. Whether they guarantee his contract or give him a new deal, whatever they promised to get him to do this deal, it's a 2-year window with Donovan and James Harden. They have 2 big men. They now have a backcourt. Small forward is still open. Max Strus has been out the whole year with a foot injury. Small forward is open. LeBron James will be a free agent. So I will just point that out, and we'll see how things develop there.
Well, remember, in the offseason, leading into the season, everybody came after me because I went on the record saying that LeBron should leave Los Angeles rather than opt in and stay with the Los Angeles Lakers and go back to Cleveland, because I said LeBron James back in Cleveland. First of all, you see the way he's deified there, as he should be. There will be a statue erected outside that arena in Cleveland when all is said and done for that man, and he deserves it, okay? If LeBron James is back in Cleveland, this was before James Harden arrived. I sat up there and said, with Mitchell and Mobley and those boys, you coming out of the East if LeBron James was a part of that squad. So if you got Harden there, all right, they got the player option for next year, okay, and you got Mitchell there, and you don't have to lose anybody, and you add LeBron James to that mix, you damn right the Cleveland Cavaliers would be back in the NBA Finals, if not win it all, even at age 42 at the time, because that's how good the other pieces around them, that's how good the other pieces around them are. So now it makes it interesting, because we're going to pay attention to what the Lakers are doing for the rest of this season, no matter what they did against the Brooklyn Nets last night. We all know they ain't better than OKC, they ain't better than Denver, they ain't better than San Antonio, they ain't better than Houston, they ain't better than Minnesota, which means that you're a top 5, top 6 team, which means you get to the playoffs, you go home in the first round, your season ends in April. LeBron might not want that as his swan song. He might want another shot at the crown to end his career, all right, tying the likes of Kobe and Tim Duncan with 5 chips if he pulls it off. What's his best shot to do that? What Wendy just pointed out, possibly going back to Cleveland. I don't think he'll do it. Rich Paul and everybody else says that ain't happening. LeBron probably says that it doesn't happen. But damn it, minds change. Do you want a chip to end your career? Do you want one or not? Him in Cleveland with the rest of those brothers, they could do it.
Well, maybe he could watch the blueprint, because now James Harden is there. But let's talk about what this means for other trades. Trade deadline is tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern. And Wendy, the big fish in this is